Golfmaster allows you to set up and manage numerous kinds of team and individual events. To start this process, click the Event Setup button. You will be presented with the Event Setup screen, which is divided into two areas. You'll see at the top area we have a list of events which exist in our system already, and on the bottom a series of tabs that define our event. There's the basic setup information. There's an area that tells us what sets of tees and what courses we're going to be playing. There's a tab for the flights which we are using, whether we are qualifying, non-qualifying, and this area may be optional for your particular event. We're now going to set up a new event. To set up a new event, click on the Event Setup tab, go to the Create button, click on the Create button, and you will be presented with a blank screen to put in the information about your event. Now, we have to type in the event name. We're going to select the year, 2007. We're going to have a 2-rounder. It's going to be a mixed event. The entry fee is going to be $90. The entry limit is going to be 72. Field type is open. That means it's open to member and non-members. We're going to have a single flight. The date for the entry deadline we're going to type in as April the 4th. This is an individual event. It is stroke play in terms of the way we're going to do our scoring. There is no age restriction on this. The maximum handicap that we will allow is 32. And once we have all the information keyed in, we're just going to press the Save button. Just before we do, you'll notice that none of the other tabs are presently active. Once we hit the Save button, the event now has been saved, and we can proceed with the next step of our definition for this event. Now that we have our basic event information set up, we have to tell the system when and where we're going to play that event. We click on the Course Tee Setup tab, hit the Create button, and enter information about when and where we're going to play. The system keeps track of round number 1 of 1 so far. Our date for our first round is going to be 2007-04-11. We're going to start at 11:30 in the morning. It's going to be a first tee start. The time intervals we'll set for 9 minutes. We're going to have 4 golfers in each foursome. Now we select the golf course that we're going to play on. In this case, we're going to select Olympic View, and we're going to select a set of tees from which we're going to play. We're going to play from the member set of tees. Once we have all this information completed, we're going to save that particular set of information, and we're going to create information as to where we're going to play our second round. To do that, we hit the Create button again. We are given another blank screen, and you'll notice that our round number is pointing to round 2 of 2. This one we're going to play on the 12th of April. We are again going to start at 10:30. It's going to be a first tee start, again with 9-minute intervals, size 4. And we're going to play this round on the Cedar Hill Golf Course from the member tees, and we're going to save that information. Now what we have is we have a tab bar that you can see. We can scroll back and forth between round 1 of 2. Remember, round 1 is at Olympic View, and round 2 is at Cedar Hill. And at this point, we have told the system not only what kind of event we're going to have, but where and when we're going to play that event. You'll also notice that the system has automatically established a single flight for this event, which is the default value. In this case, we may decide that we wish to have 2 flights, one for men and one for women, and to do so, we will simply create a second flight. This message indicates that we've only set up 1 flight in our event, so we'll have to go back and change that. We'll just say OK. We'll go back to the event setup. We'll increment our number of flights to 2. We'll save that. Go back to our Flights tab, create the second flight, change the name, save that, and while we're at it, we'll change the name of the first flight to men's. We now have 2 flights in our event. We know we have 2 rounds. They're going to be played on 2 different golf courses, and we know what kind of event we're going to have. At this point, you have all the information you require to save and run this event, and we are now finished with this module. We shall look forward to seeing you next module, and thank you for your time.